Hello. Hello, welcome. Welcome. This is the global community for adults who are healing CPTSD. My name is Athena, and we have all been showing up here for about 10 years now together, weekly, and we've been checking in with one another, sharing what works for us in our unique healing journey and sharing what doesn't work. I think both are equally important. And I think it's worth mentioning that sometimes pausing all of the work that we do in our healing journey, the therapy and the journaling and the top-down approach and the bottom-up approach and the somatic experiencing and the internal family systems and the DBT and the CBT and all of the psychoeducational materials and all of the experiential materials and all of the little micro adjustments that we do and the little micro exposures that we participate in and all of the therapy and the groups and this, just everything. I really want to make sure that you know that if sometimes it feels like it's just a little bit too much, I really want to validate that the reason it feels like it's too much is because it's too much. So today, please, I want to remind you to be kind. Be kind to yourself. Pace yourself. And we're going to talk about that today, okay? We're going to do some breath work together. We have our meditation with Morgan Harper Nichols. Her artwork is what you see up on the screen. We also have our Loving the Self affirmation written by Lisa A. Romano, and we also have our Compassionate Healing Strategy written by Dr. Ariel Schwartz. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. I want to pause and warmly welcome you if this is your very first time here with us. And I want to warmly welcome you to our community. And a very special thank you to our Blue Wrench crew, our moderators. I couldn't do any of this without you. Thank you so much. This channel is sponsored by the Foundation for Post-Traumatic Healing and Complex Trauma Research, also known as CPTSDfoundation.org. And I'm just going to pause and say hello to everyone who is here for our time together. Hello. Hello, John Harvey. Hello, Jeffrey Sherman. Hello, Ninja Taco. Hello, Kira. Oh, long time no see. Hello, Mandy J and Lil J. Hello to you, Emily. And hello. Oh, did I skip anyone? I hope if I skipped you, it was definitely unintentional. A warm welcome to each of you. I'm so grateful to be here with each and every one of you. Hello, Z. So good to see you as always. Hello, hello. So we are going to talk about being kind to ourselves. We're going to talk about pacing ourselves. So very, very, very important. And I also want to share with you something that I'm very excited about. So I'm having like a combination. Warm welcome to you, Lori. Great to have you with us. I'm sending hearts right back to you, Z. So I'm going to be having a combination Thanksgiving Christmas with my grandson in a few days. And I am just over the moon excited about it. I mean, I don't know what I'm more excited about. Like, I have way too many toys for him. Like, I got him like this, I mean, it's probably the second or third Harry Potter owl that I'm giving him. But it's a Harry Potter family, so what are you gonna do, you know? So I got him this really, really, really soft plushie of Hedwig, and so excited to give him that. And then I got him this really cool like leapfrog. Uh, it's a game slash book, and it's bilingual, and you can learn like over 100 words in English and over 100 words in Spanish. I'm so excited. And then there's just this like normal little wooden puzzle of like the letters of the alphabet, like the bottom is wood, and then the letters are all made of like hard wood, and like you can like fit the shapes of the letters in the little areas where they go. And then I got him this little car that you sit in, and you can like drive it around like while you like put your feet on the ground and you like move along, but then when you're a little older you can pedal it. And then those pianos, like that movie Big, where like Tom Hanks is like dancing on the piano, but he's playing Heart and Soul, or maybe it's Chopsticks. I think it's both. I think they play Heart and Soul and Chopsticks. So one of those pianos, and and then there's also like one of those little tunnels that you can sort of crawl all the way through, and it like squashes down into this little tiny thing that you can put in your purse, but it's a tunnel. So like that he can crawl all the way through. I'm so excited. And I'm sure there's more stuff, but I'm just naming off all the things that I can think of right now. So yeah, I'm so excited to see my grandson, and it's like a combination Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so that is where my mind is. That is where my heart is. And so thank you for listening. Hello, warm welcome to you, Annie. Hello, warrior. Great to see you. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but it's so good to have you here with us. You're always welcome here with us. It's always so good to see you. Yes, I am a grandmother. I'm a Nana. I'm Nana. Hello to you, Leah. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you all. My heart is so full. I'm just really, 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 really excited. So yeah, I'm gonna go visit, and I'm in like the mad dash to like wrap all the presents. So that's kind of like what I'm in the middle of right now. That's where my heart is. And I know that's not soothing and calming. It's more like exciting, but I just want to be real with you and let you guys know where I am. So we are still going to do our co-regulation. We are still going to do our breath work. We are still going to be doing our meditation, affirmation, and healing strategy. And we're going to begin in just a moment. I want to invite you, as we prepare, I want to invite you to get very, very, very comfortable. And you can get a pillow to support your posture. You can get a glass of water. I have a pillow supporting my posture. I have a glass of water nearby. I'm going to get a sip of water. And then we will get started and we'll do some breath work. We're going to do some box breathing together. So it'll just be a moment. Last week there was a truck that was backing up like right outside my apartment, and it was really, really loud. So I'm hoping that does not happen this week. 1 second while I get a sip of water. Okay. So again, as always, I will describe my setup for you. I'm sitting in I have 2 workspaces. One is more of like a desk situation, and then one is a little bit more comfy where I can prop my feet up on like an ottoman. And I'm in my really comfy workspace. I do have a pillow supporting my posture, and my My spine is tall and straight and strong. My heart space is open and my belly is soft. So I want to invite you to close down the eyes if that feels helpful and supportive and comfortable for you, and if it's safe. And if not, that's okay. I want to invite you to soften your gaze. And we're going to do some box breathing, which means I'm going to count us in on our first breath and our fourth breath, and our second and third breath will be on our own. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts. We'll hold for 4 counts. We'll breathe out for 4 counts. And then we will hold for 4 counts. And we're going to do that 4 times. And again, I will count us in on our first breath and on our fourth. And then we'll be on our own, breathing on our own on our second and third. So an alternate version of this, if breath work is not something that you are comfortable with, if it's not helpful for you, if for any reason whatsoever, holding your breath or doing like guided breath work is not comfortable and just not supportive for you, then my invitation to you would be to soften your gaze or close down your eyes and perhaps place one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly. And just be with your breath. Don't change your breathing in any way at all. Just simply be with your breath. Just notice the rise and fall of your chest or the rise and fall of your belly. Okay? Whatever works best for you. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. On your own now. Again. Last time together now. Breathe in 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. I got a nice big yawn on the second breath and then right after the fourth breath. It felt really nice. Well done. Beautiful. It's interesting. I got like a nice big stretch in one of those breaths, and like part of my back cracked while I was doing the stretch. And as soon as my back cracked, I started to yawn. Even just now when I mentioned my back cracking, I started to yawn. So we are going to transition now into our meditation or devotional that we have with Morgan Harper Nichols. And Morgan is someone who has been part of my healing journey for several years now. Her gentle, poetic, and poignant way of inviting us to slow our pace and notice our progress has been something that I really needed and didn't really know that I needed it, but it was something I really needed. So she sends out one email a week every week, and this email was titled, "Be kind to yourself as you navigate your feelings today." And I was like, oof, even just receiving the message from her in an email after all these years of receiving one email a week from her every week, it was like it landed differently. I don't know if it was the timing or what, but it brought tears to my eyes. It was like, how did she know I wasn't being kind to myself? How does she know that I've been rushing and rushing and rushing and going and going and going and planning my trip and packing and trying to wrap the presents and trying to do all of my work? And I work multiple jobs. I have 2 jobs. And like, how did she know? And of course she doesn't know. But for some reason, just seeing the words pop up in my inbox, be kind to yourself as you navigate your feelings today. It was like I felt so seen. I felt so understood. I felt so noticed and so important and so cared for. I felt gently held and just comforted. It was wonderful. So my deepest hope is that Morgan and just her gentle way would help you to know how deeply cared for you are, even if you're not feeling that way in the present moment. So I'll read to you now from Morgan's words. She says, navigating our emotions can feel like sailing through a stormy sea at times. Emotional waves can be overwhelming, and it's easy to get lost in them. Another thing that occurs in this space is that you begin to realize that as you navigate that body of water, you will arrive at various locations. Different emotions may become more visible in different places. We may experience a variety of emotions at the same time. We find ourselves navigating a complex web of emotions at each point of the ocean, much like exploring different parts of the sea, from gentle coastlines to the profound depths where multiple feelings ebb and flow within. And here are some phrases that may be used to describe these moments. Phrase number 1, I hope this works out. It's like seeing a shape on the water and then wondering if it's land and feeling the thrill of what's to come, but not quite sure yet. And in real life, this might be a moment where I hope this works out, is when you're waiting for news or a result, feeling a mix of anxiety and anxiety about the outcome. Phrase number 2, something doesn't feel quite right. This is like noticing the sky darkening and feeling a drop in your stomach, knowing a storm is on its way. And in real life, this phrase, something doesn't feel quite right, could be when you have a feeling that something is off before you have more information, and you are learning to pace yourself by balancing caution and preparation. Phrase number 3. This isn't what I expected. So, approaching what you thought was an island, only to discover it's just a small rock and not the location you hoped for. In real life, the phrase, "this isn't what I expected," can represent those times when the reality of a situation does not match your expectations, leaving you to recalibrate. Next phrase. This might take more time. Realizing the distance to your destination is greater than you anticipated, similar to how the sea appears calm, but the current is against you. So in practice, this phrase, "this might take more time," may look like realizing that a goal or project will require more effort and patience than was initially anticipated. Next phrase. What's the right approach now? So this might look like choosing what to do when the wind changes, such as determining the best way to sail in a new direction. And in real life, this phrase, "what's the right approach now?" could be the decision making that follows an unexpected challenge that requires you to think strategically. And last phrase, where do I go from here? We're waiting on deck after reaching the disappointing rock, and you consider your next destination. It's a moment marked by the weight of disappointment, but also the buoyancy of hope for new discoveries. So in real life, this phrase, "where do I go from here?" could be similar to when you face a challenge and you're at a crossroads, deciding whether to stick with your original plan or pursue a new path. We find ourselves navigating a complex web of emotions at each point of the ocean, much like the changing tides and currents, where multiple feelings ebb and flow within us. And because the ocean has an infinite depth, it's natural for it to feel vast and unpredictable. And in that space, perhaps the present moment is the boat we are in, becoming aware of all of the different emotions. There are storms, challenges, and times when land is far away on these open seas. And at the same time, there are times when the sea is calm and opportunities present themselves, and we learn to carry on, having grown in awareness and in our ability to pace ourselves. So, when various thoughts or phrases arise, make room for them, knowing that they are a part of the emotional landscape you are navigating and that you are free to do so. I love that. There's just something about the way that Morgan approaches just again, like there's such a poignant and poetic quality to the way that she writes. And it just, I don't know if it lands for you, but man, it just landed for me. And I was so very, very grateful to, to have received that message. Let me just get a sip of water really quick. Okay. So we are going to transition now. I have a reminder that's supposed to go off here in a moment, and I just want to silence that because I don't want to be interrupted until I need to be. I have about 15, almost 20 minutes. And here we go. Let's do our affirmation, and then we will end with our healing strategy this week. So, this is our Loving the Self affirmation by Lisa A. Romano. And she says, sometimes we feel stuck emotionally. We oftentimes excel in other areas of our lives, while our emotional sides feel bound. We are incredible at playing roles, but oftentimes we are consumed by a haunting sense of self-alienation. Today, I understand that by allowing my emotions to surface, either by way of talk therapy or journaling, I am diffusing their negative impact on my inner being. Today, I will tune within and cry if I have to, and allow my being to process the pain. I know the pain will pass, and that eventually I will feel less controlled by the emotions I am trying to control by denying them. I can feel, and I will heal. Ooh. Again, please be gentle with yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Our emotions are just indicators. They're just pointing to what needs attention. It's a really good reminder for us, right? So our compassionate healing strategy with Dr. Ariel Schwartz this week is all about really acknowledging our growth. So these last few weeks, we've been talking a lot about just how far we've come and reflecting on our strengths. And we talked a couple weeks ago about glimmers. Glimmers are the opposite of triggers. So there are those micro moments of feeling calm or grounded or neutral. And they don't in any way delete or invalidate or change the past, but what they do is they give us a micro moment, just a couple of seconds of just neutral. We're not hypervigilant, we're not terrified, we're not trying to control the outcome of whatever it might be. We're not trying to people please, we're not trying to hustle for our worth. We're not trying to do anything. We just simply are. So an example of a glimmer for me was I sat on the patio, I was watering the plants, and I just decided to sit there. And as I sat there, I just listened to nature. And I could hear this like scratching sound, and I looked, and I was greeted by a squirrel. And I just sat there and watched the squirrel. And then I heard this buzzing sound, and I was greeted by a hummingbird. And I'm telling you, I almost had tears in my eyes. I was so grateful for just that moment of having this. I mean, this squirrel and I were like staring at each other. And the hummingbird was just doing its thing. And I don't know. I wasn't triggered. I wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere or to do anything. I was just simply in the moment. And it was really, 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 really a gift. So that's an example of a glimmer. It doesn't take away anything that I've been through. It doesn't invalidate anything. In fact, if anything, with that moment having been experienced, I felt more able to just put my hand on my heart and compassionately witness all that I've been through and acknowledge my lived experience and validate all of the emotions that were coming up in me. I was able to be kind to myself. My deepest hope is that each of us would have more little micro moments of calm, more glimmers. Because when we do that, we're rewiring our brain for safety. Because the more often we experience that, the more often our brain will start to look for those moments. Okay? And that's not me. You don't take my word for it. It's neuroscience and the way the brain works. It's like muscle memory, right? So Dr. Ariel Schwartz, she's checking in with us. And she says, so as we come to the end of the last few weeks, let us reflect upon how the emotions of hopelessness or despair can show up in our lives. Could you relate to any of the stories we shared last week or the week before? Has anything over the last few weeks left you feeling distressed? It's really important to remember that there are going to be times in our healing journey when we need to build our resources and focus our attention on our strengths. And at other times, we will want to attend to our emotional pain. The healing strategies that we've been talking about over the past several months are meant to support both of these intentions, and both have their value. Both focusing on our strengths and attending to our emotional pain. They both have value. So this final healing strategy, we were in a 3-week series, this is the final one. It explores the role of grit and its relation to growth. So grit is a powerful reminder that our most significant achievements are the result of our willingness to stay engaged in challenging experiences. And this is very much true when it comes to trauma recovery. Grit is a key to success in many aspects of our lives. And in terms of trauma recovery, grit is a reminder of the value of determination and perseverance. Some examples of grit are choosing to learn something new even though it is challenging, or dealing with difficult experiences instead of avoiding them, feeling our feelings instead of stuffing them down. Research on grit reveals that what facilitates your capacity to embrace challenge is the ability to observe your impulses without immediately seeking gratification. This capacity for self-control helps you stay with the discomfort longer. So in trauma recovery, it is grit that helps you stay engaged in the difficult process of working through your pain. So let us reflect on some experiences of grit in your life, and let us explore how you might be able to nurture your own grit. So if it feels helpful and supportive, you can utilize the chat box as a journal space, or you can use the notes app on your phone or a pen and paper journal, whatever it is. You could even draw or color or do something digitally like computer animation, whatever it is that feels helpful and supportive to you, okay? So I'm gonna read some statements, and then you can feel free to share in the chat box or journal about it. Here we go. So, as a survivor of CPTSD, in what ways have you engaged in life even though you have felt afraid? Next, recall a time when you asserted yourself or you used your will. How did it feel to stand up for yourself? How did you feel afterwards? Next, how have you been able to get back up when life has knocked you down? How were you able to persevere and overcome the setbacks in your life? What or who has helped you access your strength in difficult moments? Next, in what ways are you engaged in learning something new in your life? Next, when you notice a desire to do something on impulse, such as eating one more cookie than you actually want, take a moment to pause and reflect and stop and notice how you feel in your body as you mindfully experience the delay. Does this change your interest in the action you were about to take? And last, reflect on how you approach tasks in your life. Notice if you tend to jump from one activity to another. And if so, can you challenge yourself to completely finish one task before beginning the next? I know I'm a multitasker. I try so hard to complete one task at a time, but I find myself multitasking. It's like part of, my own stuff, my own healing. I'm learning though. I'm learning to slow down. So I have about 5 minutes. I just want to check in on you. Hello, Kate. I don't think I got a chance to say hi to you earlier. Hello to anyone else I didn't greet by name. Did I say hi to you, Annie? I hope I did. Hello to you, Annie. Hello to you, Lisa. Hello to you, Leah. Oh, it's Lisa's first time here. It's great to meet you. We warmly welcome you to our community. Kate says, "Wow, this really hits home. I have grit." It's so cool to hear it put that way. Fighting agoraphobia by going where I need to go. Yes. Yes, so many people in our community struggle to leave their homes as a result of being terrified of other humans because other humans have been unkind and thoughtless and perhaps re-traumatizing. So, yeah, yes, Leah says, doing many things at once is a way to dissociate and stay away from painful feelings. In a way, it's a coping mechanism. Yes, perfectly put, Leah. Yeah, I definitely do that. And it's almost like I have a whole bunch of open loops, like I haven't closed the loop, probably because I'm concerned on a subconscious level that when I complete the task and move on to the next, like, what if the task isn't completed the way that I had hoped? What if the loop, when it's closed, it's not what I had dreamed it would be, or what I had hoped it would be, or what I envisioned? And so it's like I leave it open so that I can continue to tinker and like not complete the task quite yet. So I don't know. That's like the best way I can kind of describe it. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it was really good to spend time with you all tonight. And thank you for witnessing me in my joy as I got to share about my grandson and all the presents that I got for him. And I'm so excited. I'm so very excited to see him and to just snuggle him and to just be with him and watch him explore and laugh and cry and eat and sleep and just do normal things. I'm just so very excited. So, yeah, it's going to be really great. So, I am wishing you peace and ease, and I truly want to pause and invite you to be extra kind and extra patient and extra gentle with yourself this week if you are in US and you happen to be celebrating Thanksgiving. I want you to know that on Thanksgiving Day, with both hands on my heart, I will be thinking of each of you. I am so incredibly thankful for this community. This community has saved my life more than once and continues to enrich my life on a weekly basis. We've been doing this together weekly. We've been doing life together weekly for about 10 years. And I'm a completely different human now than I was then. And I have a felt sense of who I am and who I'm not and what my boundaries are. And I have safe enough connections and relationships, and I have a felt sense of my needs and my desires, my boundaries, who I want to be around, who I don't want to be around, what is best for me, and also what is not best for me. And a lot of that is because of you. I get to be here with you every single week. I show up here for myself, with you, beside you, every single week. And it truly is a joy. So I will see you back here next Monday. And if I don't see you over in our community before then please be extra kind, extra patient, and extra gentle with yourself, because you're worth it. There's a link to the community below this video, also in the chat box. And I'm so very grateful for you. Thank you for being in my life. And thank you for allowing me to be in your life. And if you're in the US, happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for you. I'll see you next Monday. Bye, everybody.